Hi and welcome. Welcome back. If you've been here before, this is a self-care, self-love reading. And I usually use the Neo Tarot for these readings. Self-care and self-love is so important for growth, for living healthier, better, more abundant lives. Knowing yourself is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. Knowing yourself and being present with yourself. Because the world changes and we have to adapt and grow and change as the world changes. But there are aspects of ourselves that stays constant, and we should honor those parts of ourselves and give ourselves what we need as we go through the things that life throws at us. So let's see what message wants to come through today for self-care and self-love. Let's get one more. Okay, those. Okay, we have the Four of Wands. That's a lovely energy to start with. This is sort of like reaching a milestone, finishing, the words are escaping me, crossing the finish line, and finding yourself in a stable place, but not just stable and boring, stable and okay, stable and things that excite you, make you passionate about life, inspire you, but something that is going to be really, really good for you. We also have the Nine of Swords, and this Four of Swords energy, Four of Wands energy can come after a time of overwhelm, stress, worry, fear, sleepless nights. We also have the Empress. This is being in an abundant energy, a fertile energy, a creative energy, and it is feminine energy, whether you are male or female. This is being able to receive graciously, and your presence and your energy being a blessing to everything and everyone around you. And then we have the King of Cups, which is a very romantic energy. And this is your own inner masculine energy, showing you appreciation, showing you affection, making sure that your emotional needs are met. I'm drawn to the fact that there's a singing bowl. This man is holding a singing bowl. So music and sound frequency, so frequency music, just the vibration of sound is significant. There's a green star here, which is the heart chakra. And if you are feeling any heartache or having difficulty being vulnerable or sensitive in your feelings, in your emotions in a healthy way, sound and vibration can be really good to help open up your heart chakra or just balance out your emotions. The King of Cups is different to the Queen of Cups, and it's not gender specific in the sense that he feels his emotions like his one foot is in this pool of water, but he is not negatively controlled by his emotions. So he's not going to throw a tantrum because someone upset him. He's going to understand why he feels that way. And again, it's not he necessarily. Why this thing triggered him, and how he can handle the situation, and how this allows him to connect more to himself and to others. So mastering and having working with your emotions, understanding what it's telling you, and then using that for a positive change, or to be a positive effect on everyone around you, but yourself as well. Yeah, and the sound frequency is really coming through. So maybe listening to music that makes you feel something, or when you listen to sound or hear sounds, I mean, it can even be listening to the sound of the rain or the wind or the birds or your children's laughter, or notice the vibration. And this is something that I've been noticing a lot. I have been noticing how the sounds of certain people's voices, even if they're just speaking, you're just having a conversation with them, their internal energy, their energetic field, if you are conscious of it, you can sense when somebody's energy is good for you or when it makes you feel good through how the sound of their voice affects you. Some people are really nice and really cool, but there's something in their energy field that sort of affects you in a way that makes you uncomfortable. And it might be a good idea to just, have a little closer look at that and see why that is. Or maybe you need more of that, speaking to people, listening to people, to things that raises your vibration and your frequency. Okay, let's see. The messages in this book is really helpful. So let me see what other messages I can share from these cards. The Four of Wands. Work-life balance may be a myth, but this card says we can come close. Stability and comfort. The feeling you get from returning home from a big, challenging journey is the prize that awaits you following a milestone. Are you celebrating your achievements, however small they may be? How might you take a little rest and refuge from everyday life and say, I am so proud of myself? People want to support you. Let others celebrate and lift you up, and you them. So work-life balance might be something that you can reflect on. Are you working too much and not playing enough? How can you enjoy the stability and the comfort but still challenge yourself? Not exhaust and exert yourself to the point where you can't function and you need to recover. The self-care message here says, bake something sweet for no reason and make it meditative. Think about what a privilege it is to create something delicious to eat just because. Don't worry too much about portions and recipes unless that's fun for you. Just rely on your taste buds and intuition. Then surprise someone you love with your creation. Eat it together mindfully and gratefully. There's so much. I feel like sometimes, even when you're tired and exhausted, or you're sad or down, if you do something that you can just absorb yourself in, that's creative and fun, somehow that recharges you. Often we need a lot of rest. You might need to sleep. You might need to stop doing things. But maybe that is something you've been trying and that hasn't been working. And you just can't seem to get your vibration up. You just can't seem to get your energy back. You just can't seem to feel happier. And maybe sometimes we need to do things that is not for the usual motives that we have, like, I'm doing this because I have to, I'm doing this because I was told to, I'm doing this because if I don't, things will go wrong. Sometimes we can just find things to do that we can just absorb ourselves into, that we can pour ourselves into, and that is going to pour back into us in a way that is different from what we usually do. And it's always lovely to be able to share that with someone that you love and that loves you. And I think that one is a That one is also important. Often we want to pour into people that we love, and sometimes we don't notice that they can't or don't want to reciprocate. And so, even if it's a good deed with good intentions, it doesn't often yield the results that we want, and then we are left feeling disappointed, and then it's almost like it was a futile practice. So, sharing things that we love with people that love us and we love creates sort of a closed system where the energy isn't lost or drained. The Nine of Swords says, you're plagued by negative thoughts and stress, perhaps because of a loss or because of guilt, and it's keeping you up at night. Know that what's happening or has happened is out of your control. There are greater forces at work here. What's in your control is what you do next. Your job is to empower yourself and face your truth head on in order to climb out of the scene. Sometimes when something's gone wrong, or we can see that something is about to go wrong, we want to do everything on the external to mend it, to fix it, change it, or prevent it. But sometimes the work that we need to be doing is to empower ourselves, knowing that even if this goes wrong, I can still recover. Or maybe things like this have happened before and it broke my heart. And what can I work on internally that will help me be able to go through things like this? Because there will always be things in life that goes in a way that we don't want it to go necessarily, or goes wrong. How can I empower myself to be able to have this experience, but without having it affect me in the same way it did the last time? Or how can I transform this seemingly negative thing into a positive thing? Working on the internal things is so empowering, because then we don't have to control and manipulate situations and experience, or block ourselves off from experiencing things because we are afraid of having the experience. There are things that we need to cultivate in the energetic world, internally, emotionally, and mentally, that is going to help us to persevere through things that are difficult. The self-care message here is, look up binaural beats, that's BINAURAL, the next time you can't sleep. They are sound wave tracks characteristic of theta brainwave frequencies, and are said to help deeply relieve stress, improve sleep, and more. Listen to them in headphones or as you try to fall asleep, and imagine yourself wrapped in a safe, warm cocoon. Often we can look for quick fixes, like taking synthetic drugs, pharmaceutical medication to help us sleep, or we can self-soothe with things that are not necessarily healthy, or they don't even work. And even if it's healthy, if you've done it so much and it's not working, then you might need to try a different method. Drink some cinnamon milk tea before you sleep, or do some yoga before you sleep, or listen to frequency music, something to calm your mind if that's what's keeping you up, or get into meditation so the answers to the problem or the thing that's plaguing you can come to you, or pray and release it to the universe and say, this, I've tried everything I can to remedy this, and I surrender to what must happen, and ask for the guidance and just let it go. We also have the Empress, and let's see what it says for the Empress. I want to give credit to this, the creator of this deck. It's Jericho Mandiba. I don't know the creator. With a lot of my other decks, I have encountered the creator's work in different ways. But this creator, I don't know, but I love this deck. So I just thought I'd mention that in case somebody wants to get this deck for themselves. I mean, that's a great way of self-care and self-love. If you feel like you need some personal guidance, to pull up a deck, even if you don't do this for work or, um, you know, on a YouTube channel like this, you just do it for yourself. That's a great self-care practice. And I'm rambling while I try to find the Empress in this book. Okay, the Empress says, the Empress is creative energy embodied. Think Mother Earth, endlessly producing and procreating. The card asks you to reconnect with your nurturing divine feminine archetype, to nurture your sensuality and celebrate your fierce capacity to love and to grow. That, just reminds me that sometimes experiences can make us pull back or hold back on how much love we show. But when you have discernment and intuition as to how much to give, when to fall back, it makes it feel safer for you to give love. And our experience should not stop us from wanting to create and make us feel like loving isn't safe and giving isn't safe. The Empress makes things happen within and without. This is your moment to see your passions realized, to give and receive equally. And then the self-care message here is about painting your own nails as self-care. And it's really just about taking the time to do something for yourself that is different from what you usually do. Okay, and lastly we have the King of Cups. A person or energy in pursuit of love. So the King of Cups is obviously a masculine energy. So masculine is taking action, externally doing something, whereas feminine is more receptive. So the King of Cups is a person or energy in pursuit of love of one kind or another. The Knight of Cups is charismatic and intelligent. They are motivated by their own lofty thoughts and are ready to act in the service of deep connection with their inner selves, if not others. This card says, go after emotional fulfillment, follow your dreams, and manifest the personal projects and interpersonal relationships that will emotionally nourish you on the road to self-actualization. The King of Cups can represent a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, which is water signs. There's an affirmation here that says, I hear the emotional call and know by following it, I make my dreams come true. And the self-care message is, dream journaling is loved by everyone from Jungian psychoanalysts to mystics for a reason. It helps us gain insight into our subconscious mind and its metaphors. Keep a notebook and pen by your bed. Every morning write down everything you remember from your dreams. The more often you do it, the more you may remember from your dreams, so stick to it. Journaling and writing in general is such a therapeutic and cathartic exercise. And you can write down your dreams, the dreams that you have when you're sleeping, and the dreams that you dream about your life. You can write a love letter to yourself. You can write poetry. You can write intentions. We just had a new moon. You can write a gratitude list. There are so many ways that you can actively show love to yourself and others. And find a balance between being in your feminine and masculine energy, whether you are male and a female. It's again about knowing yourself. Am I always the one that is actively showing love? And am I open to receiving love? Or am I always the one expecting to receive love, whether that's in a specific situation with a specific person or in general, and am not open to giving and opening my heart up, and maybe even wearing my heart on my sleeve to a certain extent, within reason, and that is healthy. Let's pull one oracle card to close off this reading. And I'm just trying to see which deck I'm feeling called to. Okay, this is the Quantum Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. Let's get one oracle card to close off this reading. Intuition and manifestation. Number 3. Number 3 is the Empress. The Empress is number 3. And 3 is growth, expansion, teamwork, building. So this is about your spirit expanding, the part of you that is not just your human self, trusting your intuition more to allow your manifestations to materialize. Your intuition can guide you with how to align with your manifestations. This is stepping into that feminine energy that allows your masculine energy to take the aligned action. And yeah, I'm seeing vision boards, I'm seeing daydreaming, fantasizing about the things that you want. Getting a little delulu. It's only delulu until you manifest it. So don't be afraid to be a little bit delulu. Your future potential is available to you now, both to see and to change. The more you learn to trust your intuition, the more you will be able to know what is down the road for you. And in that way, you are actively manifesting something without taking so many physical steps as you would if you were only acting from your masculine energy. You might get flashes of insights and epiphanies about what you need to do now to forge forward towards your future desire. You have the clarity to create the vision of what you want and the energetic ability to make it real. You have the power of manifestation, and it's time to take it seriously. Your intuitive powers are expanding, so open up to the messages that you are able to, that you so clearly are able to receive. And the affirmation is my intuition is clear, my vision for the future is strong, I am capable of seeing and manifesting my greatest dreams. Okay, that is the reading. I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. If you've made it to the end of this video, I would appreciate it if you like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps to be able to keep doing this. I hope that you love on yourself as much as you can today in whatever way you need, and that love finds you in infinite, surprising, spontaneous ways. And I hope you join me again in another video.